soft before you get fly, you rather tweet me.
Hot tea, hot tea, hot tea, hot tea, hot tea.
Shaq has officially released his Shannon Sharpe diss track. I repeat, Shaq took the Shannon Sharpe beef to the booth.
It's the MVPs, Gil. It's the MVPs because we only have one.
Nigga had somebody in the studio mix this. Okay?
You think you can say something about the D's, you ain't gonna say something back?
This nigga said the D's. Okay, Diesel. Let's see what you got, nigga.
G14 classification. You're soft before you get fly, you rather tweet me. I was in 3 different cars when you was in 3C. All I see is dollar signs, they come in 3D.
Who wrote this for him? Who wrote this for him? Y'all keep talking about Drake ghostwriters. Some people talking about Kendrick ghostwriters. Where's the Shaq ghostwriters? Who wrote this for him? Freaky Zeke?
Make it hot, ain't no way around my degree. You are not in my spot, you are like a peewee.
You are not in my spot. You are like a peewee. I can't do no more. So this whole beef started because Shannon Sharpe the other day was saying that Shaq is not considered one of the GOATs, which I think is bullshit, because I think a lot of people have him as the best big man of all time. I know Nikola Jokic has come in and he's like a Swiss Army knife for a big man. He can shoot, he can pass the rock. I've even heard some people say they think Jokic is a better passer than LeBron. Stat-wise, yes, but ability, I don't know, okay? But still, Jokic can do a lot of things on top of being unstoppable. His defense is lacking, but with the praise for Nikola Jokic, it has a lot of people looking at or just rethinking the big man position in general. Then you can also add in Embiid in that conversation as well as being another big man who can do a lot of shit. But you know, Embiid is always injured and crying at the podium when he loses in the playoffs, all right? So here's what Shannon said about Shaq the other day.
Shaq should have 5 MVPs. But see, when you historically great, they talk about you as great basketball player, the GOAT, and Shaq is never brought up.
All right. And see, I think that's where Shannon fucked up, because Shaq was not going for that. Like, nigga, hold on. I am in that GOAT conversation, okay? And we'll get to some of the things that Shaq said about his own career, especially when it comes to Kobe and how disappointed Kobe was in Shaq. If you an NBA fan, you know where I'm going with this, but let's see what Shaq said. You took me sticking up for Shay as jealousy of Joker. Shows how smart you are and how you say anything to get clicks. So here's some clickbait for you. If you ain't ranked in the top 10 of your profession, then you can't speak on me. Don't forget, I know what you did to get where you at. See, that part was crazy, because I'm like, what did he mean? And look, when Shannon responded, he ain't say shit about that part. I'm like, what did he mean by that? You know? But see, everybody be trying to poke these little like weird insinuations at Shannon. But Shannon didn't go for that bait. Anyway, me jealous? Sounds like you jealous. I know you trying to stay relevant by gossiping on your podcast. We don't believe you. You lied. What that nigga Kendrick say? You lied about your kid. You lied about... You need more people. In case you forgot, 4 rings, 3 finals MVPs, top 50 and top 75. Google me and be quiet. Frank, all this new success you got, I think he meant to say frankly, all this new success you got, you still under me. You don't know my work ethic. That's another thing too. Take the NBA out of it. Shaq might be one of the hardest working people in show business. It's a few people that I feel like really work their ass off, and I know they got money, but they still just be working. The Rock, Snoop Dogg, and Shaq. Shaq is on every fucking commercial. Shaq is doing all type of ads. Shaq is working with multiple companies. Shaq got... Dude, every time I look up, Shaq got a show and it's doing well. He got a new podcast on YouTube. He does the TNT thing. He had another podcast on TNT with a female and that other comedian guy, that Instagram comedian guy that used to play football. He had a show with him. Now he got another podcast. Then before that, he had another audio podcast. He done had about 4 or 5 podcasts. This nigga be working. So I do think that, you know, outside of basketball, his work ethic is unmatched, okay? But also, Shannon was just talking about basketball. He wasn't talking about Shaq as a businessman, all right? But let's continue. But according to you, I work less than you, but I'm worth more than you. Make it make sense. Love you too. If you need help making money, it's better ways than gossiping. That's another thing people have been saying about Shannon and his podcast. They feel like he's basically up there gossiping, doing tea of the week. I'm too old for this shit. Love always the most dominant big man ever who never took it serious. Remember, I don't know you. And in the words of Skip Bayless, I'm better than you. I like that. G14 classification, I have it, you don't. Not in my profession. And your GOAT debate, never wanted to be the GOAT. I wanted to be who you should greet as the most dominant ever. The apex predator. Okay? So, you know, Shaq, he was trying to violate Shannon Sharpe, but he was like, you know, it's all love, but I know what you did to get where you at, and I'm richer than you, but it's all love, okay? And here was Shannon Sharpe speaking on what Shaq said.
I got what I got because I worked my ass off. He didn't train as hard. He didn't eat as well as he should have. He talks about how he should have been the MVP over Steve Nash.
Now, here's the thing, because I feel like, you know, basically Shannon is just going to continue talking about how Shaq has said he didn't work as hard and basically saying, hey, I always maximized my position or my ability. You know, I'm not the best football player, but I always made sure I stayed in shape. I worked hard. You know, I didn't take the blessing of being in the NFL for granted. And that's just what Shannon Sharpe always talks about. He always talks about how hard he still trains in the gym, even though he's not in the NFL, the discipline. And also, by the way, Shannon Sharpe also works his ass off when it comes to, you know, media, being on TV, and all of his other, you know, endeavors in entertainment, and very successful. The Cat Williams interview is the most played or YouTube viewed interview of all time. I forget the exact stat, but 68 million views on YouTube. I know a lot of y'all will give that credit to Cat Williams, but it was on Shannon's platform. He invited Cat Williams up there, and you can make an argument about Shannon Sharpe's questioning and interview style maybe helped push Cat to say a lot of that stuff, even though, you know, I do think that Cat went in there with a plan and with a mission of what he was gonna say, right? But regardless, like I said, Shannon Sharpe is always about not being lazy, making sure you do your very best, working hard. And I think Shaq took Shannon's compliments as if it was, bigger than just basketball. Because Shannon is correct. You did say you didn't work hard as an NBA player.
I'll chill and practice, and I'll give you my all in the game. So when they used to see that, it was like, oh, he's not working hard, but I'm not. I'm not going to work hard. And it's actually a bad way to think. It's actually a bad way to think. No player that's listening to this interview should do what I did.
Okay? And so, look, the truth could never be considered a diss. And Shaq admitted to these things. I don't think he should have been that butthurt about what Shannon said. I rock with Shaq. I rock with Shannon. And also, I think the fact that Shaq released a diss track shows me I think he's not taking it as serious as a lot of people think. But still, releasing a diss track just kind of made me feel like Shaq just had some bars in his iPhone that he wanted to get out there. And he was like, nigga, I finally got an opportunity to, get back in the booth. Shaq is always looking for an opportunity to rap. Okay? We know Shaq has had a long list of mediocre rap songs that nobody wanted to hear. Okay? So, I'm hoping that Shaq getting in the booth means that these two gentlemen can come together and squash it, but let me know what y'all think about this, man. Like the video and subscribe. Hey, nigga, donate. Hit the super chat. Scan the PayPal. Hit the Cash App. Thank you. Have a blessed day.